relation to Eric Sermon. All right. Archangel is in the building. All right. Choke no joke. We here, man. You know what you here for. You know what I mean? It's camel season. Shout out to Petey Crack. All right. Let me get my what you call it started. Tick tock. The tiggy, the tick, tick, the tock, the stop to the bang, bang, boogie, the up, jump, the boogie, to the rhythm, to the boogie, the beat. Oh man, I just dropped my golf balls. Shout out to my people over at Renegade Golf Balls. These balls, pause, hit good, man. Get you some Renegade golf balls if you play golf. The light is too bright, can't see the logo. There you go. All right. Yes, I do need a manicure. Get you some Renegade golf balls, y'all. Renegade golf balls. 100% black owned, only probably the only black owned golf ball company. Right? So today I got a lot I want to talk about. I got some update in the Tupac assassination. The boy Pork Butt finally bowed out. I'll get into that later. You know what I'm saying? He finally you know, he ain't got no fight. They won't say my name, but I've been spanking them so bad that they bowing out and they starting to admit that your boy Choke No Joke is right over here. All you suckers out here. I don't know when I'm coming back to St. Louis. I do want to get back there. I like them St. Paul's. I would love to go get me some St. Paul's. You know what I mean? Shout out to the real ones over in St. Louis, not the sucker big nigga. Shout out to my man Big Dog over in St. Louis. Shout out to Nelly Mo, Chingy. You know what it is. So, first off, I want to send out a rest in peace. You know, they say death come in threes, and sad to announce that one of my wrestling legends growing up watching the WWF before it became the WWE, we lost the biggest in WWF history, the Hulkster. What you gonna do when the Hulkster run down on you, Mean Gene? We lost Hulk Hogan, man. That hurt. You know, Hulk Hogan has passed away, I believe, at 71 today. It's letting us know that, man, we getting older. You know, when you start seeing all your legends around you, those who did, great things passing away, it just let us get older. When we was younger and we see older people passed away that, was fans of our parents and stuff, it didn't really hit us as hard because we didn't really grow up to know them and stuff like that, you know. But now, as we getting, a half a century into our lives, we are, we losing people, and you start to realize that what you think was old ain't old. You know what I'm saying? Back when you was in your teens, you looked at people in they 30s and 40s and you thought they was old. And when you get in your 20s, you looked at people in their 50s and 60s and you was calling them old. And then when you get in your 30s and 40s, you start realizing that 25 is young. When you look back now with Biggie and Pac dying at 25, and you was in your teens and you thought they was old, when you get in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, and you look back at the 20s, and you seeing kids dying at 20, 25, 25 ain't old no more. When you look at it, it's young. And you look at it now, Pac and Big, they've been dead for about 30 years. You know, some of y'all don't even have kids that's 30 years old. You know what I mean? You got Clarissa Shields, who fight is 2 days away. She's 30 and she ready to settle down and have a baby next year. Talking about she getting old. She don't even realize she jumping the gun. Like you getting ready to go and have a baby with Papoose, the dude you wasn't even with for 5 years. I don't even think she been with this dude 1 year. You know what I'm saying? And she talking about she ready to go have a baby at 30 because she gonna get old. She getting old and she wanna be able to run well kids. Shorty, you got at least 5 more years before, that biological clock for women start ticking. You got at least to 35. You better grab as many bags as you can right now and then go have a baby. I don't get it. I think she sprung. But, that's another story. But getting back to Hulk Hogan is definitely a legend in our time, you know, especially when we grew up thinking wrestling was real. You know, we we was locked to that TV. We was outside playing, doing wrestling moves. So, like I said, man, it's crazy because they say death come in threes. We also lost Ozzy Osbourne, a rock legend. You know, shout out to Sharon Osbourne and the Osbourne family. Rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. He was a rock star. I think he was like 76 when he passed, you know, which is young. At 76, 71 is young. Well, I say that's young because I just seen shout out to Little C's. He just went to visit Big's grandmother and she just had in Jamaica, and she just had her 104th birthday, bro. She outlived her daughter and her grandson. 104 years old. You got to clap for that. 104 years old. She just had 104 years old. Her birthday, 104, and she's still going. This goes to show you, man, when you live in these small countries or these Caribbean islands where the food ain't processed, and you just eating good food and just living that regular life, you know, you you're not over here breathing in all these toxins and things like that. You live a longer life, man. Not all the stress and you know cancer and the food and everything. You know, when you get up there in age and you feel like you done what you done here in America, go break out and go live in one of these countries because that's what I'm about to do. By the time I'm 60, you best to believe you going to see me living somewhere else in another country. Probably before then, you know. I'm getting ready to go take me an international trip now to go see if I like this country that I'm getting ready to go to because I plan on moving and leaving the country myself. Hopefully I could convince, my peoples to do the same. But and also rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. You know, he just, he had an incident over I forgot where he was at. Slipped my mind for a second. But him and his daughter was rescued out in the water and but he didn't make it. But those are the three people that we recently lost. Hulk Hogan, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne. They all legends in their own right. Um, Malcolm Jamal Warner was 54. That's way younger than, you know, um, Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne. They had at least almost, well, one of them had over 20 years, one almost 20 years, 17 years older than Malcolm. So he had a long way to go. And big grandmother, she got 50 years still alive over Malcolm. So when y'all sitting there calling people old, you know what I'm saying? You may think they old, but like grandmother is 104 and Malcolm is passed away at 54. She got 50 years on him. You get what I'm saying? 75 years on her grandson. You know what I mean? So something to think about. Something to think about when you're thinking about people uh calling people old. So I just want to take a moment right now to have a moment in silence. And for all y'all that, may have lost somebody this year or recently, we're going to all take a moment in silence and wish these people and their family a rest in peace. All right. Amen. So we got a couple of stories we're going to get into. I'm definitely going to get into Ramir dropping his lawsuit against Camel Z. Um, but before I get into that,